You see, Brittany, as we begin this show, I just want you to know this is why I resulted to drinking in the middle of the afternoon. Like
You should.
I am literally drinking wine in a plastic cup because of this is how you make me feel on the regular when I think that we're gonna come in here and be ready for a nice episode of the DJ Ekin podcast. And of course, I don't know which Brittany's gonna arrive. I just don't know which Brittany are you today? Just give me something.
I want to know, why are you drinking wine in a plastic cup, first of all? So it's not even about me right now. I'm concerned about you.
In the words of Pastor Plies, I'm from the hood though. I mean the hood though. I mean really, really, really from the
For
hood
the
though.
hood, though.
There you go.
No, no, absolutely not. You are too grown to be putting wine in a plastic, and it's orange. It's not even a cute color.
Wait, and it's a Busch Gardens cup. Props.
Oh, okay. Well, I get that. But what is your problem? What is it? Is it a cab?
It's not even a Busch Gardens cup.
Pinot Noir?
It's a what?
Sauvignon?
How about I do not know that much about wine? I would like to learn though. Brittany, can we get the show started? Because here we are again, yet again, with your unfocused things running over to my side of things, and the show is completely unfocused.
Good morning.
Brittany, it's 3:00 in the afternoon. That's first off.
Well, I'm waking up right now. So,
oh, wow.
Hello.
Okay. Well. Here we go. First of all, let's welcome the entire family to another edition of the DJ Ekin podcast. Shouts out to the lovely, AKA Hey Beautiful, Brittany Gonzalez.
You see this B on my wrist? It is for beautiful.
Is that a gift from the other half?
Oh no, this is from my grandma.
Oh.
But
I didn't know. Look, hey, look, I just want you to be happy.
I am happy. Mind your business. No, I'm kidding. I'm
just saying.
Yes, I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to speak to you. Okay, I lied about that.
What?
I'm just happy.
But you're not happy to speak to me.
I mean, I just feel like.
I really feel like right now, even though I'm the one drinking wine, I feel like you might have smoked something before we started this episode. I just feel like that right now. Am I correct?
You are incorrect, actually.
What's the earliest you've ever
smoked? On the record. I mean, on the record.
If you did smoke, though, what's the earliest you've ever smoked?
The earliest? In the morning?
Yeah, like in the morning. And let's not talk about late at night after, like, the club, because that wouldn't count. But I mean, like, waking up, what's the earliest that you've ever said, you know what, I'm just going to light one right now?
That would have to be at, okay, I would say before 9 a.m. is probably the earliest, because I don't wake up early.
Okay.
Not on the weekdays. I mean, not on the weekends.
So is it often that as a smoker you smoke before breakfast, or you at least have breakfast first?
Oh, with it. No, before you got to calm down. It calms you down so that you can go cook.
I was gonna say, Brittany, that's a little much to be smoking with
much.
your
It's
breakfast.
Not. It's not. I just meant like it's so close to each other that you just wake up and you need a vibe and just chill. You need to chill out.
I wish I smoked weed. I wish I smoked weed.
It really is helpful when you need it medically. You know, It is very helpful.
I gotta get paranoid. I kind of get paranoid. That's why I don't smoke, because I get paranoid. I start staring at all kinds of shit. I don't. That is literally why I don't smoke. Like, literally, I get quiet. I feel like I don't know what the feeling is. It's just I don't really like it, so that's why I don't smoke.
No, I mean, you know what? It doesn't work for everyone, but let me tell you, it for some people it is the difference between a good life and a very tortured one.
So are you saying I have a tortured life? Is that what you're saying to me?
No, it doesn't work for you. You say you don't like it. No, when it's good for you, you like it. Trust me. Okay. You don't go away from it.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
And you don't need it. Do you have a lot of sadness in you? You don't need it.
No, I think I did a couple of years back, but I think, like I honestly had to say from last week's show, I think the therapist really worked well for me. Like I'm the very first black man to say, man, I ain't seeing no stupid therapist. And y'all need to stop copping out, talking about y'all got mental health issues. Y'all just foul. And then I actually sat down and talked to a therapist, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I feel a whole lot better. Like you know what's really crazy? About and this is off before, we're not even where I plan to go today with the show, but
it's okay.
You know one of the things that the therapist did for me too, it made me really feel different about anybody that's ever been an ex.
What do you mean?
Like once I talked to the therapist,
you found forgiveness? Did you find forgiveness to let it go?
I ain't forgiving none of them wenches. We ain't doing that. No, I'm like,
listen. No, I forever.
No, I just really, I felt like I owned my mistakes more after I talked to the therapist. And then
Hmm.
I started to see things where you'd be like, dang, you could have probably handled this a little different. Or even they could have handled it, but it wasn't with an anger thing. It was more like, won't do that again. Can't, I won't do certain things again. Or one of the biggest things too is I don't want to get into nothing else before I'm ready. I think I had a problem with that. Like I would just meet somebody and I wouldn't exactly be in something with them. I just would be wound up spending time with them. And it wasn't exactly like I was in something, but I probably
But
shouldn't even let people be that close to me if
really?
I wasn't really ready to be in something.
Well, I guess you're right, but I mean, I just feel like why do people want to just jump into something? Date around, have fun, just be upfront. Like, look, I'm right now just kind of floating around. You don't got to be a hoe about
I
it.
was gonna say, so you hoeing? Is that what you do?
No,
Like,
you don't got to be a hoe about it. But I'm just saying, I think it's so good to try different, little different little dishes.
okay, let me ask you something while we're here. Because when
Mm.
you in that phase, it sounds like you right on the line of hoe status, and that's male or female, right? So,
No.
so wait. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you before. Don't mess with thought about
Okay.
it. I gotta give you the whole thought. Because I feel like you could be right on the edge of hoe status in this little period that you're going through, right? So what's the amount of bodies that you could catch that you wouldn't be considered a hoe? Because in that phase, right? Say you in that phase and you in that phase for like 3, 4 months where you trying to, like you said, you're not really getting into nothing serious. You're
Right.
dating here and there. Are you allowed to catch a body per month or
Oh
two
my
bodies
God,
per month, three bodies
no.
per month? I mean,
No.
what's I don't know. I mean, if you're going out with people, you might have needs. I don't know. I mean, are
Um,
you allowed to catch a body?
okay, here's what I think, because that's not what I meant by that. If that's what
So
it
that's
sounded
that's why I'm
like,
asking for clarity. That's why I'm asking for
right.
clarity.
That's not what I was thinking. My thing is like, no, date around, but be in date around as in like go on dates, talk to, the guy, like go places with them, but you don't have to give it up. But I mean, I would say you should be able to date like 3 to 4 guys at one time in the beginning, getting to know them, which one and then you pick the one you really like and you go and you bang them.
Okay, but do you show any kind of affection? Do you like okay? You out with that person, right? Do you hold a hand? Do you give a good night kiss? I don't look, Brittany. I'm asking because
You
what
can
you
kiss.
said
I think it's
earlier.
totally okay. It's totally okay for you to make out with people in that stage when you're like, hey, I'm floating around. You can make out with anybody. Yeah,
Is it? But you don't think kissing is kind of intimate?
it can be. I
I
mean,
mean, hey, look, I'm not trying to put you in a funny
sometimes
position.
no. Sometimes you're just drunk and you feel like making out, and
But what
there's
if you're
like a
drunk and
little
you feel
a
like
little
catching a
cutie
body?
there.
What if you're drunk and you feel like catching a body?
Well, now we're broken up. Now we just broke up.
How did you
I'm
just
out.
break up?
I'm out.
But you're not. But you can't be broke up, Brittany, because you're in the experimental phase. I'm
I
just
know
asking. I'm trying.
but I'm saying like goodbye, as in if we were together, we definitely are not now. You know?
Why? Because you're not ready to catch a body.
Yeah.
Oh, so as long. But if y'all are ready to catch a body, and the dude says no, then what kind of position is he in?
Why would he say no?
You see how you just flipped that? That's not even right.
Why would he say no?
So why would you say no then?
Because I like to go
Because you're
on.
such a lady. You're such a
I'm a
lady.
lady.
Oh,
I'm a lady.
right.
No, because I like dates are fun. I feel like that was the best part of dating was going on the dates. Even when they were bad, they were so great because you were just like, this is terrible, but you know.
I'm just trying to seriously, Brittany. I'm just trying to get some whole clarification because it sounds like with the way you're
I'm
talking,
gonna get
you
any
go on a
clarification
you
from
go
you.
on a few dates. You go on a few dates. Like by the fourth date, like what if you go to like you like a restaurant, right? And you show up with like the third or fourth different girl. Are the
Oh,
restaurant people gonna think that you a hoe? And you might,
yes.
like you said, you're experimenting, but you're experimenting.
Oh, you are so right, Ekin, because I've thought about this. I'm like, I remember I used to work at a restaurant and there was a guy that would do that. He would bring a new girl, no lie, every week, if not every 2 weeks. And he would make it, I don't know, like a date slash like business meeting sometimes. But he would always bring them to our spot and they would look like they were feeling so special. And it was the worst, and that was rude. So I wouldn't
Why
do
would it?
that to the guy. I wouldn't do that
What?
to the guy. Go to the same spot, and then everybody's looking at him like he's a big old dummy.
But wait a minute. Why is it the worst? I mean, maybe that's just a spot that he likes and he's comfortable there. But like you said, he's still experimenting. You see, Brittany, what I'm starting to notice in this conversation is you seem to have a different set of rules for you and your girls and guys.
Right. Exact. 100%.
I thought we talked about this, Brittany. This podcast is fair and balanced.
See, here's the thing: women can date around and still be faithful. Men cannot date around.
First of all, let me help you out with something. First of all, dating around and faithful can't even be in the same sentence.
Yes, they are. Hear me out. Look, if they are dating, they can still be faithful and not give it up. Men do not have this ability. Men cannot date multiple women and not sleep with every single one of them. They will. Y'all will. And it's annoying.
Brittany, I take offense to that.
Well, the truth?
And there was a time back in my backsliding days that I resembled that remark. There was a time. Back in my backsliding days, I resembled that remark.
Okay.
But
verified.
I just don't know if I agree with you, Brittany. And I try to agree with you a lot of times. But it feels like to me you got a different set of rules. And like I said, I didn't even mean to be here. But now that we're here, this is why I have to drink on a hump day. This is exactly why I drink in the middle of the week in the afternoon. Having to deal with this.
You should have another one because we're just getting started.
Now, let's get to where I actually wanted to start today, Brittany. And I was going to give you a choice between A, B, or C of where I wanted to start today. But later for that, we're just going to start with B.
Okay.
And B is, I heard a conversation yesterday about taking L's. And the conversation turned to who might have taken the biggest L of 2020 so far. Okay?
Okay, all right.
Like you know the L is, right? When you take a loss. When I know.
I'm just, yeah. I'm trying to think, who would that be? Who would that person be?
Oh, you got some people in mind you just like to shout out? Because I can give you two names that came up in this conversation, and I want to get your thoughts on them. But maybe first I should just let you jump in with who you're thinking might have. Who's in your thoughts that might have taken the biggest L?
Ooh, this year. And are we talking about like celebrities? Are we talking about like just anyone in entertainment?
If you got a homegirl right now that's been on several dates and she's pregnant now, don't know which date got her pregnant.
Okay, so
I'll let you. Hey, I'm letting you start with your thought process. I don't want to slant it. I'm just letting you start. Like I said, I have a couple of names that have been thrown out there.
No, you have to, because I don't want to put nobody out there. Wait, I don't know if this is personal. I don't know if this is.
Brittany, you are the media. You cannot be afraid to say what's on your mind. So if you look, I didn't say it had to be somebody personal to you. It could be a celebrity. It could be however you want to go. It could even be you. You may look in the mirror and be like, you know what? I've been taking a lot of L's.
First of all,
I didn't say it. I'm just saying it could be you. You could look in the mirror and be like, yo, you know what, man? I've been taking some L's. You know, I'm just saying. It don't gotta be you.
I have been. But you know what? Oh, there's my earring back. I found it.
Oh, this is such an unfocused conversation.
No, I'm sorry. Literally, I was looking for it. Okay, so I'm trying to think who I would say took an L. Like I wasn't. Okay, I don't. You know how I am when you put me on the spot like this. My brain goes to. There's nothing there. So I'm trying to think.
You want me to help you? You want me to help you?
Yes. Give me some names.
Okay, first name I'll give you. Carol Baskin.
Oh my God. No, I wouldn't say no. She did not take an L. No, hell no. Her, of all people, she's got the biggest win of all. She got the freaking cat sanctuary that she caused. She got Joe Zoo.
That's what I said.
Her husband's millions of dollars, and she got to murder him to get it. Do you know how satisfying that must have been? Not only did she take his money, but she got to kill him to make that happen. Like, wow. W right there. I mean, biggest W, honestly. So she did not take any L's. I think she's a W. Even though I hate her, Ekin, I do hate her.
Why do you hate her?
She's a terrible person. She has a little old space for all of those cats. She pretends like she takes care of them. They look like they live in a freaking third world country, and she's got all this money. She gets all this money from Facebook, her YouTube videos. Dude, people donate from the entire parts of the world. Donate to her. Because they really think she's doing something.
Hey, you can say Ekin's playing devil's advocate here, but hey, that woman is putting in work. She's working her social media. You saw her on that Netflix thing. She sat down in front of that computer. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. That woman is working her media. She is working her platforms. And let me back you up because I don't have anything to give anybody if they sue us. She allegedly killed her husband. There's no proof of that. Oh. And I'm with you. I don't think she really took a L because you got to think that woman was walking Nebraska Avenue at some point, they said. And we know that ain't the best area. And now she a millionaire.
Dude, and did you see her man is literally obsessed with her? Like, that is the dream. That is the goal. Your man better be obsessed about you. He dresses in cat costumes with her. He lets her put a leash on him.
That's something else they doing, Brittany. That her putting a leash on him. That's something else they doing. But
you know.
But I'm saying.
So it's all W. You see what I'm saying? W's across the board for her.
Yeah, I couldn't really agree with that conversation either because when I heard that she got Joe's old zoo, that she was getting the zoo, I'm like, how is she taking an L? She on Netflix special. If you didn't know about Big Cat Rescue, you know about it now because everybody watched the Netflix special.
Yeah.
Like you said, she allegedly murdered, right? The only proof we got of that is that OJ said it. You know, if OJ said something about murder, it must be true because OJ knows about murder. But
he can spell murder for sure.
Right. Other than that, to me, like you said, she's got a bunch of W's. I didn't necessarily agree with her being in the L category. I didn't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, she is, yeah. So who else?
Well, this next name I'm going to throw at you, you might feel a little differently. And this dude, to me, I don't know how people keep saying he's catching L's. Because he's got his track record for music is really up here. Ja Rule.
Yo, Ja Rule. See, oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, first, Brittany, before you go any further, let's not forget, Brittany, you partied with Ja Rule. Not only did we have Ja Rule for a show. Yes. That was your first experience on stage working the crowd. You were throwing out T-shirts. And then Ja Rule rolled with us in like 20 deep. We just walked to a whole nother party like 5 blocks, got in the elevator like 20 deep and partied.
That was such a fun night. We had such a good time with him. That's why I'm like, I can't listen. For some reason, Ja Rule has carried with him this idea of an L. Like everybody not everybody, but I think the common concept about him is that he's like kind of whack or whatever. He's not like Ja Rule that he used to be. But his concert, like everybody was vibing to it. Everybody was loving it. Like everybody came out for it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still got a lot of love, but for some reason, I think it's also his beef with 50 Cent is always making it worse because he is a troll. He's got time for it. You know, the Fire Festival was a big L. That was a big L.
Now that was a super gigantic L, the Fire Festival.
That was like, yeah. Yeah, but he's still, I feel like,
okay, let's back up a little bit. Let's talk first about let's forget Ja Rule, his personal life. Let's forget Ja Rule and the 50 Cent beef. Let's talk about the Ja Rule catalog, right?
Okay.
Ja Rule's catalog, and I can tell you this for a fact because back when I was working at Def Jam, everybody gives Jay-Z all the credit. And the mystique of Jay-Z, how Rockefeller moves, it's undoubtedly it's up here, right? But the real record movers at Def Jam were DMX, 3-4 million at a time, Ludacris, 3-4 million at a time, and Ja Rule, 3-4 million at a time. Jay-Z didn't really move the millions of records type thing until he dropped the Blueprint and the Hard Knock Life record, right? That's when he started moving the multiple millions. But he wasn't really moving the records like that. The Ja Rule catalog with Always on Time and those records like that, Put It On Me, right? The Ja Rule Living It Up, those records to this day are standing up.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. Other than, okay, so then he loses the battle to 50, right? He loses 50 pretty much this like murked his whole career out, right?
Yeah, he did.
But how do we keep giving Ja Rule these L's though? Like, okay, as a female, okay, let's talk about from a female standpoint. What do you guys see that's wrong? Because you got, like you said, okay, what grade were you in when those Ja Rule records were really, really popping?
Oh, maybe middle school or like end of middle school, high school, I think.
Thank you. So that's a big part of your coming up.
Yes.
That's starting to go to school dances. That's you really hearing the radio a lot. That's you starting to get to go to a few concerts. So Ja's like a big part of your coming up, right? So as a female, What makes Ja Rule? What makes you feel like Ja is constantly just a walking L as a female?
Because I just feel like he's just okay, Ja Rule, maybe I think his social media presence is just kind of like there's so many videos of him doing like shows or whatever, and there's like no one there, or that one video where he's like, all right, let me hear y'all, he puts the microphone out and like no one screams for him.
Well, the first thing is that he should have. It was a 2000 show, and they got a 90s artist there. In his defense, that was the first problem. Whoever booked that thing, I'm talking about the basketball thing, right? That's the first thing. So. Whoever booked that thing needs to have their job revoked because it was a show for the 2000s or something like that. And they booked the 90s artist, even though they should have known Ja Rule's music. That's the first flaw with that, right? So that's a whole nother story, right?
I appreciate you pointing that out, but see, I didn't know that. And you see videos like this, and then 50 keeps calling him out, and Ja Rule. So he's like, to me, in the middle. He doesn't have an L necessarily, but he still hasn't gotten that W where it's like, Ja's back. Ja's,
Okay, so he needs a win like coming back is what you're saying. That's it. Because you guys have you just overlook his catalog. You don't care about that.
I'm always gonna vibe to it, but if you're just like thinking Ja Rule, you just don't. I don't think much more than that.
Okay, let's see what you even know about what happened recently, because this week what happened was, and I sent you over this video. He did a commercial for like a gyro place or something.
Yeah.
Right now, everybody's saying he took an L for this because Ja couldn't remember the name of the place. I don't think he really knew what they were selling. And he just started to go all wild on this commercial, right? So now it's become all these other videos and memes and all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, if you are the person with the business, you are getting way more people looking at your business than you ever could have paid for, because that video has been shared by so many other sites that get a lot of traction and pages that somebody has had to say, where is this place? Because even though Ja messed it up, and I think Ja got a lot of things wrong just in it. So that was a big thing. So they still somehow or another it still came out, even with all the stuff that he got wrong, right? Mm-hmm. But the amount of shares, and I bet the amount of eyeballs that has, what they say, that have seen this, the impressions, I bet has been way more than they were ever promised having Ja Rule on this thing.
Of course, but it went like viral for the wrong reasons.
I was gonna say for the wrong reasons. Okay, and then
okay.
The other thing that happened was, and it's the most random thing, there's like a party with looks like 15, 20 people in this place that aren't social distancing, and there's Ja Rule on the mic performing.
Yes. Was that recent? Was that I know the video is recent, but was that a recent performance during COVID or before? Just like.
Okay, social distancing L aside, the biggest part of it was everybody's like, oh damn, Ja Rule is doing these kind of parties now, and I was one of the first people who booked Ja Rule when he got out a lot, when he got from being locked up. And like I said, we got a dope price. The show was dope. He did his thing, and he even had records that he didn't do, and people still had a great time. Like he left about a good 5 or 6 hits off, and people still had a great time. Mm-hmm. So I guess when I look at let's look at the party, right? Maybe it was a private party where somebody was like, I can pay this price, and it's just for me and my friends.
We think $1,500. That looked like a $1,500 performance.
Brittany, you don't. But even if it's $1,500, the average in COVID times, if it happened in COVID times, $1,500 to come somewhere for an hour, that's damn good money.
No, you're right. Let me tell you something. If I can make $1,500 in a few hours, I'm gonna do what I have to do. I'm gonna grab a microphone, find me a speaker. Let's do this.
But if you're Ja Rule, it just doesn't go right.
That's what I'm saying. These videos keep popping up of him doing shit like this, where he's in this like, performing, setting, and it's just like there's no reaction. But it's also people who have trolled him like 50. So for me, Ja Rule, I cannot give him an L. I love him, but I know people want to give him an L. People always want to give him an L. And until Fyre Fest is resurrected and done right, we might not ever see it.
So, but you're not giving Ja Rule an L.
No, I won't give it to him. I love Ja Rule.
But I just gave you numerous examples where you said that he's taken a lot of L's.
He has, but I know he has. But I still refuse to say that that equals an L because the reason it's equaling an L to people is because they don't know better.
Okay.
I know better.
So Ja Rule also isn't getting your biggest L of 2020.
He's not gonna get the biggest L. No, a Firefest was last year, and he was top 3 in the running to take that spot.
So Brittany, we're still in that. Well, those were the only 2 suggestions I had, and I heard. So I still don't know if we solved anything of who's taking the biggest L of 2020.
Damn. Okay. Well,
I would venture to say that you probably want to say your president, but he's still the president, and he may even get reelected, Brittany.
Oh my goodness, Ekin, we cannot let this happen.
What do you mean we can't let this happen? I didn't vote for him last time.
Well, okay. Neither did I, but I'm saying this time around he cannot do a second term. But he can't take an L because he is the president. But I will say I like handing him the L for that sad Trump walk after the rally. Dude's tie was undone. His MAGA hat was in his hand, like he was barely holding on to it. He barely could do a salute. He would not even pretend that he was having a great time. Like, he was so crushed. It was just magnificent. That was a beautiful L I would like to pass on to him. But in general, damn.
You know what's the funniest part about the Trump thing, though, too, is the story that we heard about all the kids who reserved tickets or bought tickets.
The TikTokers?
Knowing that they weren't going.
Yes. Oh my God. This was so brilliant. So this is what they were doing. Every 2 days they would put a post about like, hey guys, sign up, get registered, don't go. And then like they would delete the post every 2 days because they didn't want it to get to the mainstream so that we would see or the campaign and then catch on. They were so brilliant with it. Like insane. So good. So much goodness there.
This is why I said that last week we were talking about this. We have got to make sure that we're listening to the voices of the next generation, because when they want to get a movement going, and it be right on social media, and you be looking all past it. You don't be looking in the right rooms. You don't be clicking on the right things, and they then had a whole buzz going about what's about to pop off, and all of a sudden it's then happened, and everybody's wondering why. Then all of a sudden it'd be like, yeah, we did this. We decided that this is how it was going to go. We made him think that we were going to come and fill up that arena, but we had no intention of going at all. Like that next generation with that phone, man, and how they move on social media. I'm saying, man, we got to really give them their props. They ain't no L's being taken over there.
Dude, for real. I'm so here for it. I want to say, let me see who else. Look, and here's the thing. I love Doja Cat, but she took a big L this year because she was on the up. She was about to like really, really like kill it. And then, that stuff appeared with her saying the N-word and just being in some random chat room. But I still don't think, I know she's not racist, but she took an L, and that's unfortunate. I would say that was one of the bigger ones.
That L came up too, and here's the rebuttal to the Doja Cat thing. Is she kind of really didn't take an L the way she probably would have taken an L, because I think when she was getting ready to catch that L, the Ahmaud Arbery thing happened. And then we rolled into the George Floyd thing. So the conversation definitely was in a much more important place than worrying about canceling her and giving her an L. So I'm not sure if Doja Cat has really taken an L, because the record went number 1, and the Say So record went number 1, and she's still out here, and I don't know if she really took an L.
I think that in some way it definitely hurt her. But yeah, you're right. She's still on top. She's still doing great. And I still love her. I just know she put herself in a weird situation. But I still don't, like I said, she's not racist. The girl is it's not. Anyway, I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah, Brittany, I thought you'd be here because you're full of the chaos and the madness. I thought, who's really taking an L though? I will say this, who's taking an L?
Who?
Karen. Karen is taking an L. Karen is taking.
Oh my God.
Karen is. If nobody else is taking a lot of L's this year, Karen is catching L's left and right. Karen is catching them.
And Karen is willingly catching them. Like, Karen is trying to catch them. Like, she like lights up when the camera starts rolling. She loves it.
I don't know if she loves it though, because now, like the latest one that happened the other day with the I want to say. I hope I'm not assuming. I think the guy was gay. Him and the lady got into like a traffic altercation.
Yeah,
and she gave him the finger, and she followed him for a second, and supposedly she called him the N-word, and then he decided to follow her. She wasn't. She didn't want no camera time. She didn't want no camera time at all.
She was traumatized. She was like so afraid of going viral, right? That's why she was saying, she kept saying, he's gonna put me on the internet.
Yeah, I don't think she's really traumatized though because of what she did. I think they get traumatized when it becomes, oh shit, my job could be in jeopardy because once this goes viral.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, once this goes viral, you know, of course the job has to step up and go, we don't want to be associated with this person. First, they put them on administrative leave, and then it's like after further investigations, your ass is out of here because we have to distance ourselves from that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where to me the traumatization comes in, and now the conversation has shifted in a place that's probably not going to give me a headache, but definitely going to make me think a little harder about what's going on here because she's not really Karen to me isn't traumatized. Karen to me, what kills me about the Karen thing more than anything else, and we're really shifting here, is when she goes later on, I'm not a racist. I didn't mean that person any harm. What the hell did you mean then? What did you mean then? When you call the cops for no reason, like there's one video out now where the guy has on a UPS uniform and has packages, and the lady is telling him, I need to know what you're doing here. You don't see all these damn packages? You don't see this UPS jacket? Because there's been a lot of break-ins in this neighborhood. I don't care if there's a break-in happening right now. You see this uniform I got on.
Exactly. Let's not even... Because that's obviously wrong, and she's obviously racist and obviously stupid. But the Karens, no, I didn't mean traumatized as in traumatized for her, but I meant she was taking some trauma, thinking about how she knew she was gonna go viral for being stupid, and then she was so scared of what that was gonna do to her. But it was like, no, you brought this energy, honey. Right. You asked for this. You want to speak? You want to say things? We'll say them into the camera. So anyway, but yeah, Karen's took a big L, but some of them, like I said, aside from her, they all love it. They all love staying there till the cops show up. You know what I'm saying? Like they go through it. So
do you pray for me, Brittany, that never happens to me?
Do I pray for you? I pray for all the black men and women that it never happens to them.
No, I meant more. Do you pray for like me that it never happens to me because you know it's probably not going to go good at all?
Oh my God.
Or are you praying more for like, please, Karen, don't bother him at all. Just don't.
No, you know
he
what?
He is not the one to bother Karen. Just do not.
See, I feel like you could really, really reprimand a Karen, like you would mess with her head. You would read her for filth. She would leave with that in her brain for the rest of her head. Like, did he say that? I don't even know what you would say. You would just say some crazy shit. But I feel like, no, you need to get into contact with a Karen for sure. I feel like they will cut her deep. Your words, yes.
I don't know if I'm wishing for a conversation with Karen. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like this could be it. Like there's been a couple of times I felt like this might be the moment. And I'm not asking for it because I really, and I don't even know if I'd be that ready with my camera because I'm so like, once I start going, I don't know if I probably need to get my camera ready, but I just ain't with the I don't know no other way to put it. I just ain't with the fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? So I have a low tolerance for the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? So the minute it starts, it's
you're gonna stop it. You're gonna say something, and that's what we need. We need people who are gonna be vocal about it and let them know it's not okay. So yeah, I don't pray that you don't. I pray that you stay safe, but I hope you do get to read, someone like that for filth. You know what I'm saying?
I just hope that a good question came to me yesterday, and I was talking to one of my mentors, and I just posted this on social media too. With all the Black Lives Matters stuff that's going on, and I want you to think about this too because you're in. I know we don't shift the conversation a lot, but I feel like you're in a space too because not only for one, you're a minority being Latin, but you're also a female, so you go through a bunch. And you work in a corporate America space, even though it's entertainment, you're in a space that a lot of things are, they going around you. And I'm sure you've seen in your young career of being in radio so far and people that you've seen probably differences in pay. You've seen, how people are treated differently. Mm-hmm. And so the conversation shifted to, with all this Black Matter stuff going on, right? What are we really asking for? And I have not been able to stop thinking about that since I had that talk with and his name is Frank Kinney. Like I love this dude, just the conversations that we have, because to me, I feel like every time I'm talking to Frank, that he's picking me up. Like I just feel like that, you know.
Yeah, I love those kind of people.
Right.
Yes.
He makes me think more than just like the surface conversation. And it's not like
Yes.
he's talking over my head, but I have to really step back and go, damn, I ain't exactly thinking that. And so, like I said, one of the things that he brought up, he was like, okay, with everything that we're talking about for Black Lives Matter, what are we asking for? Right. And then I think I sent this over to you right after he was talking to me about it. LeBron made a post, right? LeBron James made a post. And one of the things that this was a tweet that LeBron had made, and of course I go to hit it and it doesn't come up. It goes, okay, can I get, how come when you want to find something you can't?
You know how it be. He did a post. Was this his tweet you're talking about?
You got it?
Do you want me to read
Go ahead.
the tweet?
Yeah, just read it. Read it what he said.
LeBron James, to my brothers and sisters in sports and arts, we have incredible influence in our community. We need to use this moment to demand change. I gotta be honest. I struggle with what to demand because so damn much needs to change, but I'm starting with our right to vote.
Now, you see that right there? Like, even he, with his platform, and LeBron talks to a lot of people, even he brought to the forefront that he's not even sure what to ask for. So in your thought process, right? Like I said, you've been around this, like you're going to protest, you're helping out how you can, you're using your voice, you're going, you're helping people. And then, like I said, you're going through your own set of different struggles, being a female, being Latin, being new to, not exactly new to the industry, but, you're still fairly new in your career. Do you think that we are asking direct questions, or we just, have you thought about what exactly we should be asking?
Okay. Oh my goodness. There's so much wrapped around this. Okay. For someone who's like me, who is completely 100% in and for the Black Lives Matter movement, and there is so much that needs to change.
Right.
But if you're asking to be specific about your needs, I don't think so. I think it's not clear for most people. I would say, for people who aren't 100% in on this, because you're right. They do need to be directed in how. You can't just tell someone they need to change or they need to stop being some way. You got to help them understand or give them plans of action, right? Or, whatever it may be to help them kind of find that answer that you need them to come to, so, but I know equality, that's been at the forefront of all of this, is equality. I know that's a common, well known about what the Black Lives Matter movement is about, but yeah, in some sense, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to get more specific, like what needs to change? Well, we start with voting, and so you got to teach people. There's so much I could go into that, but yes, you can be more specific. I think it's specific enough as far as like, equality and that there is like acknowledgement that needs to happen with police brutality and just, the injustices that are so blatant for,
right.
Black lives that aren't being valued and cared about and treated differently.
Like when you say equality, right? And we talk about equality, and again, I don't expect you to have all the answers here, so please don't take it like that. I don't, because I don't have it, but it's just really something that's made me go back into my psyche and just try to think a little harder on it, right? When we talk about equality, I guess I'm gonna have to, I think, maybe start talking to more people, and it might be people who are in that I don't normally talk to that help make these laws or help bring about change, that help, that understand more about putting these things on the books so that we can submit these things to make actual change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because to me, like you just said, equality is a broad term. But when you start saying, okay, equality, where does that need to be fixed first? And like you said, it's a lot that needs to be fixed. So it's a lot to unpack. But I think that we, as a collective, and I know one of the things, like I said, that I'm going to have to start doing, because I literally, like I said, when he said it to me, I don't know if confused is a good way to put it, because I don't know if I exactly was confused, but I felt that maybe I'm not stepping up enough. Maybe I'm still not talking to the right people, because, you hear things about legislation and things like that. That to me is where the real change seems is going to have to occur when you talk about equality, right? When you talk about these companies, right? Like I can name you a good 5 right now that I know people that are doing business with, or maybe I have been associated with at some point, right? That now it's a cool hashtag. And like I said, there's a couple, and you and I have had these conversations in private, where I know 4 or 5 years ago, they barely even acknowledged Black History Month. and they had at least 7 to 10 black people that worked in the organization, in the core of the organization. And they didn't even acknowledge Black History Month, let alone Black Music Month. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And now I know for a fact they got a Black Lives Matter committee. They got everybody. I'm watching from the top to the bottom. People are using the hashtag. But is that just because you want it to be cool, or are you really doing things to make change? And so when you talk about this equality, that sort of thing, like when you look at a company, right, a Fortune 500 company, what does that look like? What does equality look like to you? Like, what does equality look like in your company? Are you setting aside things now, like, where there needs to be a certain amount of people in the conversation, in the interview conversation, for starters, for when it's time to go up the ladder, or in the hiring process, or a certain amount of managers that are on these committees, because so that everybody has a representation. I say this a lot about radio, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of our target audience is you, 18 to 34-year-old woman, right? Mm-hmm. But you got a bunch of dudes trying to make all the decisions. Like, you look around the room, there's not one of you in the room that can tell them what is the favorite shoe of a woman like yourself. Mm-hmm. The dudes don't even know, but they making all the decisions. And she gotta like this music, such and such, because they got these little surveys they doing like that. But you're not even in the room at all. You're not in any of the
conversation.
Right. They might bring a couple of, and like I said, I can use radio because it's a field that I've been in and entrenched in. They may catch a promotions person, a young girl, promotions girl walking by the office. Hey, come in, listen to some songs for me. That's not really giving them a voice on. Mm-hmm. Making things a better direction for the company and giving them a real representation. So, so when I'm having this conversation, and now that I'm into it further with you, I think that, me personally, I have to lead. I'm trying to lead by example now with everything I do. I'm going to have to try to find my way in a room and learn more about how to get some real rules changed on the books, because to me, that's what equality is really going to look like.
Yes. That is that's the biggest one. And you know why, I see why, so much change hasn't happened is because we have never, politics isn't fun. It's not easily understandable either. Even for someone who likes that shit, likes it, and gets it, there's so many layers to it. So now we're starting to get awakened of this interest of oh, well, we need to be more proactive in educating ourselves about this, because if that's where the core to all of this is, we've been working on all the wrong parts or ignoring, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you have things to do in your day and you put off the most important one just to do all the little running your errands. And so that big problem is always there, but you get by because, the other errands are kind of making you semi-happy and you're okay. You can live off of that. But really, you never get to the root of the problem.
Right. Even and this is another part of the conversation. I think we might need to watch how we just throwing money at things too. And this may be an unpopular conversation.
In what way?
Because I'm watching a lot of things, right? And especially Instagram, because that's kind of where I live at a lot. Such and such has suddenly got a $2 million initiative dedicated to, helping people of color with their small business or this, that, and the other. But if you're not showing them what to really do with that money to structure their business the right way, you giving somebody 40 grand that don't really know how to run their business in the first place. You just gave them 40 grand. You didn't teach them nothing. It almost goes back to the thing of you can either teach a man to fish or you can feed him. You can feed him one day. You teach him how to fish, he eats forever, right?
Right.
So when you got a company that says, okay, now we're dedicating $5 million to these organizations, right? And a lot of times, and I've seen this too, where you got these organizations that are out front because they move around that space a lot, or they know the right people, so they're in the money. But does that really trickle back down to helping the normal Black community? And to me is ultimately what we should be trying to do. To help another rich organization, I ain't really a fan of that. I would say help them with your resources so that they can keep helping the people behind them. You know what I'm saying? But to me, what I'm watching this right now. So it's a lot of hashtag use. It's a lot of Black Lives Matter to us. Everybody got the same corporate statement from their PR team of we support. We don't
Yep.
We don't condone this behavior, this and that and the other. But Black Lives Matter didn't just start. You understand what I'm saying? It didn't just start with George Floyd.
No, absolutely.
It didn't just start with Ahmaud Arbery, right? It didn't just start there. So these people, to me, and these companies are still playing catch up. And again, I'm not trying to say that if they are truly in it with us, that it's not a good thing.
Right, right.
But again, to me, it just seems like the same pattern, because all we got to do is have one big thing happen and this will get on the back burner.
Oh my gosh, that's what I'm so worried about with sports coming back. Like even George Floyd's brother was like talking about basketball or football. He was like, you know, I just don't think it's smart. Like that'd be the worst thing you could do right now, is because you would take all the attention of all this progress and what's going on, what needs to be looked at right now. And and he's right, dude. You're right. The one big thing is just gonna swoop everybody look the other way, and then again these problems never get fixed. But I will say, look, I'm optimistic. It's still going on. I mean, this is how many months now of this happening? Like the protests still going on, the statues being taken down. Like we're getting progress. But what you said about the companies who are giving money to these, you know, black businesses, you're so right about teaching them what to do with it. Like
Right.
I don't even think that's something that they thought about, or maybe even like, not because they didn't care, but they just probably didn't think about that. They're just thinking we need to throw money at it because that's the easiest thing to do. So that's a great idea that I hope a company picks up and wants and starts that initiative, you know, like that would be a great trend for companies to follow.
Yeah, because I think and I will stand up on the highest point and say this. Black people, we creative, and we used to being creative without having nothing. Like we used to having to rock out, because a lot of, like, you look at hip hop is the most perfect example. When hip hop started, it was built out of nothing. You know, we didn't have anything. It was like something that we had a love for, and on the blocks in the Bronx and on these, you know, they was having these parties and they became organized, and then this music comes out of it, and it's taking these beats and it's making this music out of other people's music with samples, and then it becomes this thing that starts to bleed all over the world. Right now it's become what it is. So we're used to rocking with nothing and making it into something. I think what goes wrong a lot of times with black people though is, when we get these resources, right, we're not taught a lot of times, for whatever the reason. It's not always the person's fault who gives us the resources. A lot of times, to me, and I'm the first one to say this too, it's our own kind. Because sometimes you got to look, like, to me, I've always tried to be this person that if I'm in the door and I see somebody that's dope, you don't bother me coming in the door. You know,
right.
that, like one of the dudes that I'm super, super proud of to this day is the dude, I call him my little brother, Dave Melhado. Like Dave, to me, when I met him, was one of the sharpest young cats ever. You know what I'm saying? I met him. I was already at radio. He was going to USF. And I told him straight up, I said, bro, you just need to get in the room. That's you just can't get in the room. So when I go in the room from here on out, you going in the room with me. And that's all I ever did. I never worried about how he could function in a room. I never worried about whether he could handle the pressure of being in the room. From the day I met Dave and talking to him, he was younger than me, but I thought he belonged in the room. He had dope ideas. He just couldn't get in the room or get in the room the way I could. You understand what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, you need to be in the room. And so I think that when you bring people like that in the room, you also got to show them too, though, how these things are working. You understand what I'm saying? Because the room can become overwhelming, and they have these ideas. And so what you do with their ideas is you say, okay, and not even about students, like, yo, that's a dope idea. Let's use some of our resources to show you how to make that idea function. Let's show you how to make that idea pop off. And I think a lot of times, to me, that's a step that we're missing. And that's the step I don't want to get lost in this whatever we're trying to accomplish with Black Lives Matter. And I'm man enough to say, I'm not sure right now. You know, like once I had that conversation with Frank, I'm not sure, Brittany. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm asking you. Like, you know, like, I know something needs to be done, but we just, you know, we're screaming Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. We got the hashtag, we want equality. But what does all of that look like, other than the fact that we don't want to keep getting mistreated by cops? We don't want to see another black man get killed. But what does that look like in the big picture? What does that look like economically? What does that look like for the next set of things that, you know, us being able to pass things on to our kids and their kids, generational wealth? What does that look like? Like, how do we get to that? Because that's going to give us true equality.
Right. And I mean, if you're thinking about it, like everyone needs a job, you know, that's part of what living is. And it's seeing more Black and brown people in every job type, you know, in management positions, you know, at leadership roles. Like more of those opportunities need to be given. And I'm not saying because of them being black or brown, but I think it's just like there's definitely an inequality of like getting the same chance at the same opportunity, based on race. So how do we break that? Well, I think again, we need to have more conversations about race and it existing, and we need to talk about it openly and point it out, and we just got to keep kind of flowing with wherever it takes us, but we can't ever stop. That's the thing. We can't stop talking about it. We can't stop fighting for it. But the workplace to me is one of the biggest spots that we can do that. Aside from voting, it's like it would solve people under like just being around someone of a different culture every day. You learn, some things about their culture. If you have that in more places, like the fear goes down because now you know the person. Now you know something about that culture. And I think that that's the problem, is that there's a lack of culture in work in a lot of workplaces and in a lot of roles that are leadership roles or at the top. So yeah, we need to see more black and brown people because it's not like they're not as capable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me that there's just not enough capable black and brown people to hold those types of positions. Absolutely not.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully we can get there. I mean, I think that's one of the things, like when I leave today's recording, that's one of the things like that I'm talking to my team about is what does that look like with us stepping up and leading the way to make real change, because like I said, real change, we can scream, like I see it all the time. I see the hashtag Black Lives Matter, and I'm starting to, I'm seeing everybody use it because it's the cool thing to do. It's on t-shirts now, I'm seeing people, they blacking out their Instagram, and I'm like looking at people like, you didn't have the same energy 6 months ago. When you could have led the way. You didn't need another black man to get killed on camera for that energy. So what does it look like? And maybe sometimes I gotta walk out there and say, okay, this is what it looks like to me, and start asking that question, like,
Yeah.
what does it look like to you? What does it look like to you? And I tell you this, one of the groups that I'm definitely talking to is that next generation. Cause I think, oh man, I get so much energy talking to them. I get so much energy creating with them and some of the conversations I've had with them. Not like you. Like, you're a little bit younger than me, but not you, because talking to you sometimes the conversation
is
just goes.
What, a blessing? I know.
I don't know if blessing was the word I was looking for.
Well,
B,
I found it for you.
It's a B word, but blessing ain't the one.
I'll take that one too. I like that one too.
Yeah, you would. You would. Brittany,
the boss in front of it.
Oh wow. Brittany, before we get out of here, would you like to play an episode of Brittany Knows?
Oh, let's do it.
We haven't played this game in a while, because honestly, I don't. Sometimes with you not knowing anything, Brittany Knows kind of goes all over the place.
Brittany knows a little bit. Brittany knows sometimes.
Okay, Brittany. One of your favorite topics. You want to do sports today?
Oh my God!
Why do you always go, oh my God, when I go, do you want to talk sports?
Sports. All right. Okay. Let's talk sports. I hope we're talking about my man. Tom.
Well, you know what? We can go right there. We can start with Tom Brady.
Hey.
Because as you like to call it, the Rona is running rampant in Florida.
Yes,
the Rona is running rampant in Florida.
The Rona's real.
Okay. And it's been put out there that a couple of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and some have tested positive for the Rona.
Tom? Did my Tom get?
No, Brittany, first of all, let's back up. Your Tom, is that what you call him now? Your Tom?
My Tom on my favorite team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh my God! Wait. Say that again so that everybody can hear
it. Tom Brady is.
Your Tom.
My Tom. My little Tom Brady on my favorite team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh wow.
Yes, him. What about him? He's safe, right? He's good.
Have you ordered your jersey yet?
You know what, Ekin? I'm still waiting on this check that's been delayed. It got sent back or something. I don't know. So yes, it's on the way. It will be.
Okay, by the time season starts, you'll have your jersey.
Probably.
Is your jersey gonna say Gonzalez Brady? like a hyphenated name, Gonzalez Brady?
Oh can I do that?
You can do whatever you want, Brady. That's your money. You can do whatever you want to your jersey. You can get the number 12 and put Gonzalez Brady on it like you married to the man.
Oh, I'm here. Okay. All right. Let's do it.
I mean, what Giselle gonna do? What's she gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna do that. That's what I'm gonna do.
You see? Okay, so we got a couple of Buccaneers and a few coaches that have tested positive for the Rona. But Tom Brady, even after it's recommended by the Players Association or somebody higher up in the NFL that players not be having their own practices together, Tom Brady and a few of the Bucs, they out here to high school getting their practice on. So I'm asking you, Brittany, is that good that Tom Brady is still trying to get, he's still trying to get that connection with his teammates and, because Tom is a perfectionist. And I'm not, first of all, I ain't mad at that. But being that the Rona is out here, if you could talk to Tom Brady right now, would you want Tom to keep practicing or would you want Tom to settle it down? And he's out there with him. It's Gronk. It's a bunch of other players.
And Gronk. Oh, my God. I love seeing the pictures of them, when they spot them playing out there on that little field and they're just like in their little sports gear stuff and they're like running around. It's so cute. I love a Tom Brady spotting. So, no, he cannot stay inside. He needs to be outside near cameras. Yes. And Gronk. All of them.
I'm not sure if you actually gave me an answer, so I'm gonna just keep looking away. Wait, what are you?
That's what I would say to Tom. Tom, keep practicing, keep it safe out there, keep your distance, and smile for the camera.
So you're okay you're okay in Florida with all the Rona going on. You okay with us risking Tom out there practicing?
I feel like Tom has the spirit of he just can't stay inside. Like, he's not going to do that. The man was working out at a freaking, where was he in Tampa at the part when he got kicked out? And
you know what I thought you was about to say? You feel like Tom has the spirit that he can't get the Rona. Like, I really thought you were about to say that. I really thought you were about to be like, Tom can't get the Rona.
Dude, that would be like really messed up. No, I don't think he can do it. And I honestly, selfishly don't want it. But if you need me to tell him, I will.
But so if you could talk to Tom right now, Tom, Gronk, and the few players that are out there, what would you say?
I would say wait a minute.
First of all, when I ask you to give me advice, you don't do all these faces that you're making right now. Like, I just get, boy, this is what you need to do. With Tom, I ask you to give Tom and the Gronk a message, and it's like you got to get in a whole character.
Well, I already told them they need to be safe. Get tested before practice every time. And, yeah, I think it's okay. I'm going to say it's okay on this one.
It's okay?
It's okay.
Okay. So are you rooting, out of the Florida teams, you're rooting for the Bucs first, the Dolphins first, or the Jacksonville Jaguars first?
Ooh, this is a tough one because my dad is the biggest Dolphins fan, and I've always been a Dolphins fan. Those are both, they're both football. Okay.
Wow, I think I led with that, Brittany.
Oh, you did?
I led with which football team are you going to root for in Florida? I led with that.
Oh, it's so confusing. There's so many teams. There's so many sports. Okay, I honestly, right now I'm a Buccaneers fan. I really am. Was that the question?
Brittany, you almost got me sold on the fact that you're going to really be a Buccaneers fan this season.
I swear I'm getting a jersey.
You coming to some games?
Yes.
Brittany, you taking real offense to me. I'm just asking the questions. I'm just here to direct this episode of Brittany Knows. That's all I'm doing.
When's the first one?
I don't know because you don't know if they're going to let fans in yet, because, we're still dealing with the Rona.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, but I'm sure that the NFL is going to make sure they can get some fans in before this season is out. And I'll look forward to that game.
I don't hope so, but I do want to see him. Like, I like the pictures.
So you don't hope that we have a football season?
No, Ekin, it's not good. It's not what we need right now. When does football start?
Brittany, I like late August, September.
I meant like usually. Like, is that when August?
Like the September. We got time. Yeah, we got time. Like, we got time. It's not like September, October, we really start getting into football. Yeah, I think I'm right. I don't know. I don't have the schedule in front of me. I mean, right now they're starting camps. Right now they would be starting like camps and stuff like that. They would be doing practices and stuff like that. but not full blown. Like, but really we be going like September, October. We really be going. So you still got time.
Yeah, we got time for the vaccine to hit. Dr. Fauci said that it's this year or by next year. My doctor. You always disrespect my doctor like that.
I didn't disrespect Dr. Fauci. Brittany, Brittany. I'm starting to hear some real questionable things about Dr. Fauci.
You're from who? From Trump? Yeah, you would.
No, now the fact that I got 2 stimulus checks, that's a whole nother story. I'm not gonna get into that.
I can't stand you. You got another one? You did get a second one.
Brittany, I own companies. Sorry. I'm out here doing business the American way.
I guess Egan, take your free money, whatever.
Okay, anyway, let's talk about Dr. Fauci. I'm hearing that he's out, that really all of the things that Dr. Fauci is really telling us are good things are things that he has some sort of a financial interest in. Or
like
some
what?
Kind of Brittany, I don't know. I'm asking you these things. I don't do the Dr. Fauci research because I feel like this. I feel like almost all those people who get on TV, they're just getting paid to give an opinion like me. I feel like if they put me and you on Skype, you on one side, me on the other side, and the producers in our ear going, this is your opinion and this is your opinion. That's what we do. That's how I'm starting to feel about all these people on the news. Think about it. Think about it like this. We're not even really getting news anymore. We're getting, like Denzel said a while back, we're getting opinions. Because think about it. As soon as they tell a story, what happens next? Well, here's right now. We got such and such from such and such who works for such and such, and here's his thoughts. And then the person just gets on there and starts giving their opinion. That's all they're doing. It's barbershop talk on your cable channel.
This is a doctor. Did you forget the doctor in front of his name? Okay.
Hey, let me tell you something. Dr. Seuss is a doctor. Dr. Dre is a doctor. You need me to name you a couple of more doctors out there? Dr. Dre is also a doctor.
All I know is my Dr. Fauci is saying that we need to still understand the Rona's real. You can still get it. You should wear your mask. And all of those things sound safe to me. What does he have money invested in face masks?
Well, I will say this. I don't think that any of that is bad stuff that he's saying. But all this other vaccine talk, which you didn't get into, I heard he's got like interest in some of that stuff that's going on. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not a person, like I said.
I need to look this up.
Of course you do, but you don't choose to. You know why? Because Dr. Fauci is your first real older man crush. And that's all you're caught in. You're not really caught in getting any real information on Dr. Fauci because you are so enamored by the fact of how he looks in his glasses and the fact that he could pick out really good wine when you guys went somewhere, stuff you would know nothing about. That's all you're caught in that.
No. First of all, you know why I know I love him? I knew I loved him when Trump took him off TV because he took him off TV because he knew that people were loving him and people were going to listen to him. And he knew the power that he had. And he took Dr. Fauci away from me. And he's still fighting the good fight, not going with what Trump says just because Trump said it. So leave my Dr. Fauci alone. If he has to make a couple coins, he's going to make a couple coins.
So is Dr. Fauci more on the top of your list than Cuomo, or is Cuomo top? Who's top?
Oh, okay, Cuomo. I just love Cuomo. He gets crap done. He cares about the Black Lives Matter movement. And I feel like that's just such a big thing. Like that is, if we're doing anything right now, we're listening to anyone. You got to start with the people who start with the Black Lives Matter do matter. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't even agree on that, then I don't need you leading anybody. I don't need you in positions of power. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you fixed that because I thought that you were simply in love with these older guys because you suddenly had like a 2020 older guy infatuation.
No.
I'm glad you led with something that seemed like it mattered other than the fact of I just really just like how he speaks, and then you flipped your hair. I'm glad that you really gave me something of some substance right there. I was starting to lose a little faith in you, Brittany. I really was.
Ekin, I love a man that cares about the world. That is the sexiest thing. That aside from that,
you don't think I care about the world and you barely like me?
You do care about the world. It's a very sexy trait, and when a man is confident in it and is passionate about something and cares and wants to make a good impact in the world, that's hot. That's sexy. He can get it.
Is that Brittany? Tell me something, because I ask you for female advice. Is that what I'm missing? Is that I need to show the world more that I care about the world?
Thank you. Yes, you do. I need to see that more from men because it can't just be us all day.
Okay. Okay, I'm about to got to get my social media posted. Like, you think that you don't want Brittany.
He's gonna do volunteer work at a soup kitchen. Hey, never.
They're gonna be like, Ekin, what made you want to change and you suddenly you deep in the community? Brittany, hey, Brittany told me this how you get the ass. No, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
He's trying to get deep in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Brittany, stop it. Look, Brittany. I really want to do good.
You should. Everybody should.
And I want it to feel good while I'm doing good. Too much. That's not a campaign speech. That's not a good campaign speech.
No. He said no.
Ekin, so what's your campaign slogan for the rest of 2020? I want to do good, but while I'm doing good, I also want it to feel good.
That would. I hate you. That would be everybody.
Stop clapping, Brittany. Just be like, not sure about that. Hey, who's his campaign manager?
Oh my God, yes. You need to put that on a shirt. I need your face on.
Hold on, Brittany. Not only do I plan to do good in the community, I want to feel good in that same community.
You know what? That feels a little better. I'm not gonna lie, but still, I know what you mean by it. So it's not right, Ekin.
It's still it's a questionable slogan. It's very questionable.
It's like, what? Why did he say he wants to feel good? I don't really know what that means.
Obviously, Brittany, I gotta have a talk with my campaign manager. Obviously.
No, I think just run with this one. Just run with this one.
I will stay on the news, right? I'll constantly be trending. Be like, he's trending again. He got the dumbest campaign slogans. Girl, you gotta come on. Ekin's on TV. He came up with another one, girl. He came up with another
Yes.
Oh,
that would be so great.
All right, Brittany. You've given me a lot this week to work with. I don't think we got to the bottom of who's taking the biggest L though. I'm not sure to the bottom of that.
I'm gonna come back with that one.
You're gonna come back with that one, so we're gonna leave that one open because we haven't figured it out yet.
Yes, we need to find out. We need to name this person.
Because Doja Cat might be top 10, but I don't think she's even in the top 5 biggest L's. Oh my Lord. We established that Carole Baskin, not even really an L there at all.
No, that bitch got all the W's. I'm so mad. Yeah. I'm hating.
But we are both in agreement that Ja Rule may be somewhere in that heavy L category. Are we in agreement? Well, you don't want to give Ja Rule an L.
Yeah, but you're right. What we talked about today, that would be a yes.
Ja Rule's in the top 5, though. Will we agree on that?
Top 5, absolutely.
But we also agree that we're rooting for Ja Rule because I said I've had like the times I've hung with Ja and going to his shows. His show, he gives you your money's worth.
Oh yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's a real dude. Like I said, we've hung out with him, drank with him. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's just been like cool. And to be honest, like Ja Rule has accomplished a lot in his career.
He has. Ja Rule, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him.
So we have to come back and we'll come to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. I think we had a very good talk about what the ultimate plan should be for what we're actually asking for when it comes to Black Lives Matter. Yeah. I think that's one that I think that I'm going to put this on you and me together. We can't let that conversation die.
Yeah, we won't, and we will not.
Okay, we can't let that conversation die because I think that, you know, like you said too, and we were talking about this, just saying equality, it's too broad. We got to get some specifics on what we're trying to get out here because to me, that's the only way it's going to become a real win going into 2021.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Okay, and we talked about your love for Dr. Fauci again.
My Dr. Fauci, oh, he's so cute. I miss him.
Why do you have to put your glasses on every time his name comes up?
Because it's just like my little reminder that.
What is your reminder?
That I just try to cover my eyes.
I am so lost here.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, you know what? I know we're about to go, but before I get out of here, I have just one more thing I want to ask you, and this could be quick before I get out of here.
Okay.
I'll give you a minute to think of this. I'm going to throw something at you, and
Okay.
you have to come back.
Okay.
Name a better trio than Kim, Courtney, and Chloe.
A better trio? Ooh. Three. Trio is three. Three.
Want me to help you?
Start.
Peanut, butter, and jelly. Better than them three wenches. Quavo, Offset, and Takeoff. Migos. That's a better trio. Easily.
Yes, I love Migos.
Easily. LeBron, D Wade, Chris Bosh, Miami Heat. Definitely a better trio.
Yes.
Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Chicago Bulls. Definitely was a better trio.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. You know, Brittany, you ain't came up with nothing yet.
Oh, okay. So a better trio. Chips and salsa and the queso and guacamole.
Brittany, that's like 4 things. That wasn't even.
Oh, the triple dipper.
Brittany, I don't even know why I even asked you that. I don't even know. I'm out of here, man. I don't even know why I asked you that, man.
Queso, guac, and salsa. That's it.
See, a better trio. I didn't know. That's a pretty top. I saw that meme today. I was like, ooh, name a better trio. This ain't hard. And I don't even dislike the Kardashians, man. I'm sorry. Let me stop. And I don't.
Leave the Kardashians alone.
Yeah, okay, because that's a whole nother conversation. But we're not gonna do any Kardashian reality star bashing today. We're not doing that. We're looking to take the world on an upward move. That's where we're going. All right. Shouts out to Radio Influence as always, and don't forget wherever you get your podcast fix. That would be Spotify, iHeartRadio. That would be where else? Google Play, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. Like, subscribe, download, make a comment, rate us, do all that good stuff. And on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and like the page too at DJ Ekin TV. And I think I got all the good stuff in. Brittany, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me and holler at me at Brunch with Brittany. And don't holler at me in that way. I just mean say hello. And don't say hello, beautiful.
Brittany, I still don't understand your dislike for Hey Beautiful. But you can think about it and maybe that's a discussion we need to have too. Like, why do you because ever since Remington's been on the show, I've been thinking about that. Why do you have such a distaste for that's a compliment?
I will tell you next show. I'll break it down for you. I'll have pictures.
Oh wow.
No, like drawings. I meant like stick figures. Don't think I'm gonna do more than that.
I'm working with her, folks. I promise you I am. I'm working with her. For my entire family, man, it's DJ Ekin across every platform except for DJ Ekin TV, which again, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and comment on the videos. All right, Brittany's there a lot. Okay, on YouTube.
Yes.
That's it for the DJ Ekin podcast, man. As always, it's been a good time. And Brittany, I do somehow still have a lot of love for you.
What do you mean? Yeah, you better have love for me. Ekin, get off my line. I love you too. Some love. Some? Don't even.
I was trying to get out of here without saying anything else, but you weren't going to stop, so I love you, Britt.
I love you too, Ekin. Bye.
Bye.